Right, hello everyone. I thought I would make a quick video on Lady Geist and her top builds. So I've been playing Lady Geist for a fair bit now. I climbed from like Oracle 3 to Phantom 5 in like less than a month with her, because she is super good right now. So if you're looking to pick her up, I'm going to go over the top builds and the different types of builds for her. So if you're looking to pick her up or just learn a few things, this is definitely the video for you. So I've put a few stats on the screen, as you can see. So just to quickly go over these, so she has a 30% pick rate, which is quite high, and a 51% win rate. So those are pretty solid stats. So win rate is just 51% is just like a little bit higher than normal, which is solid. That's that's a good thing. That's what you want to look for. So the stats along the bottom. So the average play damage 48k. That is the highest in the game. So she is doing the most average damage out of every character in the game. I wouldn't pick her up solely for that though. It's a little bit deceiving just because she does a lot of AoE and it tends to normally just get regened anyway. So average tower damage as well is 8.8k. That's pretty above average, but it's not anything crazy. But the big thing is her average net worth. So that places her at about 5th in terms of average net worth. So she's competing with characters like Wraith, Haze and Victor and stuff for like total accumulated souls, which is really big. Just because Lady G doing quite a bit in terms of objectives and getting sort of team kills and stuff. So just quickly I'll show you the build that I'm going for. So this is my build for Lady Geist at the moment. So just to quickly explain how it sort of works is I normally go Bomb Geist. It's not the better one. The gun build is technically better in terms of if you're looking for like like stats and stuff. Not stats, but like the higher chances of winning. But what I like to do is go expansion second, so to make use out of Mystic Burst a little bit more. And once I've gotten these 4, I go Trophy Collector, which is a risk, I will say now, because you're not hitting your Spirit Spike. But I do find with these 4 Spirit items, you're normally doing enough Spirit damage in lane for it to not really matter. Straight after you get Radiant Regen though, then you have your Spike obviously. After that, just more spirits and greens, and I have these options here. I prefer to go Fleetfoot Berserker to hit gun spike. I know a lot of people go Connect Dash though, and everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I have a few gun items here for late game if I want to switch my builds. Everything else though is pretty standard. Stamina Mastery just in case. I very rarely buy this though. So I'm going to quickly go over the top builds and just go through each one and explain what they're doing and what you want to look for when trying to build this character. So this is the Statlocker builds. I would avoid using Statlocker builds if you have over about 10 hours in the game. They're normally not great and they just go purely off player stats, so they're not actually, there's no thought put behind these builds. They're just updated every single day to sort of don't use these. They're not good. This build doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's like I think it's a gun build, so it's the highest win rate one. But these optionals, I don't know what's going on with these optionals. Genuinely, I have no idea what's going on. 2 tier 4s. No, sorry. Oh yeah, 2 gun tier 4s. I don't know. Don't use this build. So the top one here. I'm not going to repeat the name of this. So I was having a look at this earlier. The only thing I have with this build is I do think Golden Goose Egg is the worst item in the game, especially, I mean, on this character as well. You don't want the minus 10% damage penalty, because you've got big AoE damage. If you're taking earn fights, if you're poking them in lane, which character's good at, you don't want a damage penalty. So I'm not sure about that. I do like Trophy Collector though. I think Trophy Collector early on ADG is actually pretty big. I found that with it, I normally get about 4k souls from it, so I'm getting a fair amount of value from it. It'd definitely be more though. Everything else, I thought this build was quite interesting. There's a lot of things I haven't seen before. So things like Spirit Rend and Surge of Power, even Spiritual Overflow, a lot of these things. This is quite a more unique build for her, I'd say. It's kind of hitting every single spot, so it's going to be doing a lot of spirit damage, and also you've got your gun damage as well. I've never actually used Spiritual Overflow in ADG, so I can't say how good that is. Just one quick thing as well, is just like, I think Leech is a little bit too late in this build, but this is quite a unique build. You're not going to see this kind of build very often. So moving on to the next one. So this is just the bomb build that a lot of people just go for. So I normally prefer to go expansion second, as I said on my build, just because it makes more use out of Mystic Burst. Because the bomb is not that big. before it gets upgraded and stuff. If you see here, I mean it's fairly big. You are going to hit people, but it's nothing like crazy. It's very easy for them to dodge, even with like 2 stamina. But Spirit Burn is also bought extremely early here. Spirit Burn is a big item in Lady G because it normally only takes 1 bomb for it to go off. But I think a little bit too early on Spirit Burn, I think, because I normally like to buy Grey Expansion, because Grey Expansion, the ability range from this really helps with the life drain and also the ult, I guess. Infuser is a big item here at the minute. A lot of people are building Infuser. I personally think Colossus is better. Colossus tends to be, I mean, Colossus may be on the gun build a little bit more, but Colossus tends to be probably the most underrated item on this character. It's absolutely stupidly good. But Infuser still works, crazy lifesteal from it, but a lot of people tend to get Leech instead just because it's a little bit more consistent. So yeah, this is the bomb builds. Just basically you're going to be doing absolutely absurd amounts of damage with this build, most probably over about 70k every game if you're doing well. You're also pretty good at taking objectives as well. So moving on to the next one. So I had a look at this one here, and this is a bit more of a standard gun build on her. So I thought this one a little bit strange, because a lot of people tend to hit gun spike with Berserker. So they either choose Fleet Foot or Kinetic Dash and then Berserker. That's normally the standard way to hit your gun spike on this character. But this one has Cultist Sacrifice first, which I do like. I think Cultist Sacrifice is a pretty huge item, especially if you're going as a gun character. So I don't mind that here at all. I think that's pretty good. Weakening Headshot as well. I've not seen that, but I guess because it upgrades into Crippling, it's fine. Everything else looks pretty good. Spirit Shielding just sort of being placed in the middle here, I'm not sure about. Just because bullet shielding is absolutely insane this patch. So if you are going into a more bullet comp, I would definitely consider buying that instead of Spirit Shielding. But again, Spirit Shielding is not bad, but it is a little bit more matchup dependent. Colossus here is good. Don't buy Metal Skin. Everything else, it seems to be pretty fine. Moving on to this one, I really like the look of this one already just by looking at the starting parts here. So you hit Spirit Spike straight away with these 2 items, and then Connect Dash into Berserker is normally a pretty standard way to hit your gun spike. This is very straightforward. A healing boost I don't know about, because you don't really tend to buy healing tempo too often on this character. You can do, but I wouldn't recommend it. So I'm not sure about healing booster being here. I would probably change that for enchanters if you're going to use this build. So mid-game, Spirit Resilience. Okay, one thing really quickly is that Bullet Resilience is really good on this character too, because Bullet Resilience works a bit better on characters with high health, like big health scaling, which this character does have. So, but everything else looks really good. Counterspell, Dispel, this is more of an option. It's normally a pick one kind of scenario. You can go both if you're really struggling, but Fleet Foot is insane on Lady G, and Spell Slinger is also pretty much the item that holds the gun build together. So everything else, even these late games, these are all absolutely perfect. Ricochet should be okay. I'm not too sure about Ricochet. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Your Silencer is probably the best gun item at the moment. I can't think of anything else which is better. But these greens are all insane on this character. The optionals are all pretty good. This is if you're going to use a gun Lady G build, I would recommend this one. It's definitely a go-to. So moving on to this one. Okay, this one's a little bit more weird. So just Radiant Regen. I don't know about opening rounds. This item got nerfed pretty bad. I don't know if I would buy this. And also, you're not hitting gun spike with these 3. Oh no, you are. What am I talking about? Sorry, you are hitting gun spike. So this is just to hit gun spike with. I just don't see the point. I would honestly just remove opening rounds, recharging rush, just buy Berserker instead. I don't see the point in buying these 2. Other than that, this is a really weird build. Healing booster again, I don't know. Spirit Resilience really early as well. This is a bit later down the line, I'd say. Slowing bullets is fine. Yeah, so we gotta like choose one sort of scenario. Mid-late, yeah, these are good mid items. I really like these. And late game items are pretty standard as well. Yeah, this is a bit. I'm not too sure about this one though. There's definitely a lot of things I would change about this. But moving on to the next one. So this is actually where I based my original build off of. This is what I was using beforehand. So the thing that's just really good about this one is just like, I mean, it's very straightforward for one. But it also hits sort of every spot if you're going for more spirit builds. So these 4 here are just, I find, to be so key in laning phase. If you buy these 4 items, you just do so much damage. It's like actually kind of insane because you don't even have your spirit spike, but you will. I wonder if I can quickly test it out. So if I just fall in Infernus, so when you have these 4 items, you're probably going to be looking somewhat like this for your leveling up. So you normally want to do this and then that like gets him to half straight away. Do it again, and like literally 4 bombs and daggers, and they're like, you've literally killed them. It really pressures them in lane. And I find buying both of these resists just so, it is just so insane. You can sort of swap these out for Colossus, which Colossus is just like it's such a ridiculous item, but buying these 2 as well just makes you so stupidly tanky. So I would I mean, this is a great option. These tier 4s are all great on her. I don't really know if I like Mystic Reverb, but I'd normally just buy, I think I'd probably buy Colossus or like another spirit item maybe. Yeah, this is a super straightforward one. If you are looking to pick up Lady G as a beginner, I'd say this is definitely more suited for you just to learn the character on. But yeah, it's pretty insane. You take objectives fast with this, and also do a stupid amount of damage as well. This is a bit of a weird one. So the gun spike on this one is Spirit Shredder Bullets and Ballistic Enhancement. I guess it's for the ability range with the 1, I guess, which makes sense. So this is the Toxic Pool Geist, so it's just go max on your 1. And then you basically just want them to be standing in it. So the key items here, I'm surprised Mystic Vulnerability isn't on this build earlier, because that normally is quite key to, because if you're with Mystic Vulnerability and a massive ability range, is that you're reducing almost the entire enemy team's like spirit resist, which works for not only you but your team as well. So I'm not sure why Mystic Vulnerability isn't in this earlier, but yeah, everything else looks good. I might actually try this build out at some point. It looks quite interesting. Echo Shot on the bomb is a bit I don't know if that's grey. I would avoid doing Echo Shot on the bomb, honestly. I don't think there is much value out of that. It seems a bit more of a gimmick, to be honest, but other than that, I think I mean, this build is kind of fun. This build can definitely work. It's pretty good for supporting a team and also just doing pretty well on. So yeah, this build's pretty good. So this one, oh my god, okay, this one's a bit messy. So just Spirit Spike with Radiant Regen Bullet Resist. That's fine. You don't need to buy both of these. Just extra regen is more than enough. So good Gun Spike early. This is really messy. Spell Sling is a little bit too early. This is gonna like sort of, if you're going left to right, which I say to do, you are gonna be halted here quite early on, and these items would definitely probably be bought a little bit earlier. Warpstone is a new one. I haven't seen Warpstone on ADG yet. Colossus though, Colossus good. Weaken Headshot, just I guess for upgrade to this. Do not buy Metal Skin. Just buy Bullet Resilience, please. It is so much better than this item. And these are, I guess, these are the optionals, I guess. These all seem fine. I guess so. I mean, I need to try out Cheat Death because, I mean, actually, it wouldn't be good. I just seen -6% healing reduction. I'm not sure if it would be good actually. Never mind. This is a bit of a messy build, I guess. Needs some organisation. So this is the last top daily one. So I don't. I guess because extra goes into that. That's fine then. So this build looks fine. Mystic Burst is a little bit odd. There's no tank bush in this build, so I don't know why you'd buy this. To be honest, you honestly could do with just buying Mystic Regen first or Extra Regen first. I don't know. I mean, actually, I'll read the thing. Yeah, so it's just for like damage, I guess, just more damage in lane. I don't know though. You don't need to buy this. You can just play safer. Merc Magnum. Merc Magnum's on this build. Just as it says here, just buy Spell Slinger instead. There's no need to buy this item. But definitely with this build would go Colossus though. It's all the way down here. This item's too good on this character to miss out on. I think. Well, so I think there definitely is. But for the most part, no, this looks pretty good. This can definitely work. I think be a little bit cautious with using this one. I'm not sure what Mystic Burst or this. I don't know what it's here. Metal Skin as well. I would just buy Bullet Resilience. The reason why I say Metal Skin isn't good is just because it only protects you, whereas you could buy a Disarm and it helps the entire team instead. This item really sucks in the meta. I really wouldn't bother with it. The 12% bullet resist is nothing. It's absolutely useless. Obviously, you're buying it for the active though. So that's all the public top daily ones. I definitely think my favourites is this one, and I would definitely recommend this one as well for newer players. The Spirit build isn't as good, but it's really fun, super easy to make use out of. It's the one that I mainly go for, but other than that, I would say if you're looking to win games, go this one. This one looks like the best by quite a bit. So now I'm going to go on to Statlocker and I'm going to have a look at some of the builds there. Right, so on to the builds. So this is the top one on Statlocker. This is the one that we were looking at earlier. Again, we just recommend building this most of the time. Okay, so this is another one, Fat Fox Geist. So Spirit Spike with slowing bullets, recharging rush. This item is good on Lady G, by the way. I was probably not recommending it earlier. This item is good on her. Weight shots is a bit of an iffy one, and cheat death. This is a little bit of a weird one. I do like Colossus though, obviously. Everything else on this early to mid thing looks pretty good. Late game, these are sort of just like not in order, but all of these items are pretty good on a Lady G. There's like no complaints from me there. These are all good on her. So yeah, this is another one. This one looks really good. I definitely recommend using this one. So these are the only 3 builds at the moment. I think Statlocker has literally just been updated because there was a new patch. It was like a minor patch. But yeah, so that's the top builds for Lady G. I've already mentioned my 2 recommended ones. Definitely try them out and see how they do. So yeah.